All right. Well, welcome to our final. Sonia, where did 2020 go, right? I don't know.
Let's mark it down as the craziest year I think most of us have experienced in a lot of ways. But also, before we go into this webinar together, which Dolores and I are so excited to talk goals with you, let's look back on 2020 and find gratitude wherever we can, because I feel like in the midst of the crazy, there were so many blessings too, and I don't want us to miss that as we launch into planning 2021.
Mm-hmm. You know, Sonia, and as I was just actually thinking back that in January, for this group that we launched in January, I was the trainer in January with Lindsay Mercer, and we talked about goal setting. And it's like, okay, feels like this is the envelope, right? This is the back end of that. So I just want to quickly, first of all, welcome everyone who is joining us. And this particular call is for anyone who is a sales consultant. Maybe you're brand new in your journey, anyone who's a team coordinator, sales leader, and I'm sure we have some executive sales leaders and such as well in this call, but I just really want to welcome you here and just say that Sonia and I have been in every step of the journey. So wherever you are, we've been there. We are where we are now because we went through the whole progression. And you don't move through this system. You don't build a business without setting goals. Hey, Sonia? Yeah. So the first thing I just wanted, so Sonia and I decided that for today, I'll do the first bit and then Sonia will wrap it up. Okay. So the first question that I like to ask is, why don't people set goals? So in the chat, I would like you to just comment why, maybe yourself, like this is a safe place. Nobody can read the chat. We're not going to call anybody out, but why don't people set goals? So as I reflect on that, I think there are a couple of reasons. First of all, they don't want to disappoint themselves, right? Afraid of failing is a huge one. And I think that in this business, the number one reason why people say they maybe don't even want to become consultants is they don't want to be pushy. So sometimes that same personality can kind of look at themselves and just say, you know what, whatever comes, comes, but I'm not going to be pushy. I'm not pushy with others, and I'm also not going to be pushy on me. But one thing that I have found is that growth doesn't happen in my comfort zone, because then nothing's changed. So if people are not content with where they're at right now, if they see that they want to be somewhere else, different actions and habits and behaviors are what's going to get you there. Awesome. Okay. Love all of that, guys. Fear. I actually posted on Facebook this morning, being fearful, and I'm not saying this at anyone, I'm saying this to myself. Being fearful is like sitting in a rocking chair. You feel very busy, but you're going absolutely nowhere. So don't let fear paralyze you. Okay, so absolutely, there are lots of reasons why people choose not to make goals. Now, whether you've made goals in the past or not, I want to challenge you with something. How many of you believe that you do already set goals, even if you don't write them down? Because I know for a fact you do. You got up this morning, you have clothes on, you probably brushed your teeth, you maybe did a stretching or an exercise ritual of some sort. We all have a routine that we do every day. That is a goal. Your goal is every morning to get up and do those things, right? But if your goal, for an example, is, I'm just going to use an example of losing weight, okay? If your goal, for an example, is I want to lose 50 pounds, that is enormous, right? So what do we know about goal setting? Is overwhelmed people do nothing in life in general. So ideally, you want to set goals that feel attainable, that you celebrate along the way. So many times we've heard training on SMART goals. So I'm really going to just quickly talk about the acronym for SMART. So if you're taking notes, I just want you to write down, like an acronym, SMART, okay? So S stands for the 5 W's, okay? So the who, the what, the when, the where, and the who, the what. Sorry, good thing I wrote this down. The what, the why. Okay, I'm just going to do this in an organization. So the 5 W's. So what do you want to achieve? Who do you want to achieve this with? In this business, you do not build a business alone. That's why we're in teams. Teams mean the who. Who are we doing this with, right? What do you want to achieve is always done together. So if your team is going for a promotion, if your team is going to grow, it's always what you're going to achieve and who you're going to achieve it with. Also, why are you wanting to achieve it? So I will be very honest with you. I have said this to my team before. The income that I earn is way more than I ever thought I would ever earn, ever. I was happy with my income already probably 10 years ago. I would have been very content if that was my income for the rest of my life 10 years ago. Why have I chosen to continue pursuing what I'm doing has actually nothing to do with me. It has to do with what I want to pass on. What I achieve for myself, what I impart into my girls, the impact that I make in my home is what matters the most to me. And the impact I can make on others, helping them grow, helping them develop, that is now my life's goal, helping other people achieve their goals. So where are you going to achieve that? My goal is hopefully in your own home first, your relationship with God first, and then in your business as well. Because to me, it's like the trifecta. Those are the 3 things that make me excited to get up every single morning and do what I do. And what's important with being specific, so we're still on the S with the 5 W's. They were what, why, who, where, and when. You want to be specific as to when you plan on achieving these things. So if your goal is to become a silver senior vice president sales leader, absolutely. Will you be able to achieve that in 6 months? I doubt it. So let's be realistic as well, right? Like it takes time to build people. And if you build people, you will build a business. But you first need to be investing in your people. That's where you start. So when you set your goals, be specific with your 5 W's, okay? The next thing is make it something that you can measure. So in a certain amount of time, what are you going to achieve? Make it something that's measurable. So Norwex gives you an awesome compensation plan that you can literally look at what they have to offer and you can decide where. When I ask whether I've been in conferences speaking everywhere, even in Australia, to my team, everywhere I go, I will ask a group of leaders, who right now is going for promotion? All of you are. Everyone is. Everyone is going for promotion. And for me, even though I don't have a level above where I can go, my promotions are now what my team can do. That is what actually brings me more joy than anything I have ever accomplished in my life, is helping other people be successful, right? So if you are in this business and if you want to grow a team, your goal is always forward thinking, right? Okay, so it needs to be measurable. A is it needs to be achievable. And we already talked about this. It needs to be realistic, right? Also, R is relevant. Okay, so what is the purpose and what is the benefit? So it needs to resonate with something in your heart. So we always talk about the difference between setting goals and having a vision, right? Your vision is what you actually, like say for example, you would like to help save for retirement. Maybe you want to help your kids through university. Maybe you would love to build a new fence in the backyard or buy that play structure at Costco for your kids. Maybe you would love to take your family on a vacation. If you could vision, like put into words what you can vision forward for the future. What's the word I'm stumbling over my words here for a second. As a visionary, looking at 2021, what is something you would like to achieve for your family? Okay, I want you guys to put something in the chat. What would you like to achieve What can you see as a vision? It needs to be something that invokes passion. It needs to be something that every morning when you get up in the morning, it doesn't matter how many people say no to booking a party. It doesn't matter how many hosts say they're not interested in joining your business. You actually don't care, because you are doing this for a greater purpose. Your vision is bigger because you're doing something. You're working towards something. Your goals are what's going to help you achieve your vision. But your vision needs to invoke passion. Okay. So the other one, the last one for T, for SMART goals, is making it time bound. So you want to know what you're doing each day, what you're doing each week, what you're doing each month, and then you'll have a good picture of what 2021 will look like. You need to take it in bite-sized pieces. John Maxwell has an amazing quote. He says, if people want to know if I think they're going to be successful or not, he goes, just show me what they did last week. It's the behaviors that we do every day that grow success. And it doesn't matter if we have ups and downs along the way. This is what happens on the way up. There are ups and downs along the way. It's impossible to do this. All right, so let's see what some of your visions would be for the upcoming year. Stay at your house in Florida. Yeah, pay for a vacation. My vision is clutter out my life. Carol, that's deep, friend. That is huge, right? That is awesome. Okay, so this was something Lindsay and I shared in January, and it was something that Judy Latane had shared with the Canadian leaders at one of our retreats somewhere along the way, and it talked about accountability. And they had done some statistics as to when you create a goal, excellent. The problem with not creating goals, people who don't create goals are often the same people who don't stop to celebrate what they have accomplished. Because you can always think of something you could do better, something you could reach further, something you should have done. When you write down goals, it gives you something a year later to look back and be like, heck, I did that and I achieved that. My team has mocked me relentlessly at team retreats when I make them do vision boards. I've had doctors' wives literally walk up to me and be like, you do know I don't need the money, right? I've had consultants on my team whose husbands are engineers and we've got doctors, we've got nurses, we've got teachers, we've got accountants, we've got very educated people on our team, and they're like, you know, this just feels a little touchy-feely. This just isn't my personality. Like, I'm just gonna like maybe just go for a walk. And I'm like, just trust me. Just trust me. Just even if you do it just 1 year, just for me, just give me once. The magazines are here, whether you want to do it digitally by Googling pictures, I don't care. Just do it once. Owe it to yourself to do it once. Because you want to know what's crazy? A year or two later, when you look at that vision board, you're like, dang, I got that red jacket. Like, I put it on there as a joke. I put that on there actually to get Dolores off my back, but look at me. I have a red jacket now. I have had people put on there that girls who were struggling with infertility put minivans on their vision board. They send me pictures of their vision board years later saying, Dolores, I now have 3 kids. Guys, I can't tell you. You owe it to yourself to just make a vision board. Do it for yourself, but share it with your leader, because we want to see what your heart's desires are. Okay, so before I pass it off to Sonia, I'm just going to really quickly talk about accountability, because this is what Judy shared with us. And it was a study that was done that showed the effectiveness of goal setting. Okay, so setting goals is one thing. Okay, 10% of people who set goals achieve them. But if you consistently decide, if you conscientiously decide that you are going to do it, 25% of people achieve it. But if you actually write down when you are going to achieve it, your numbers go up by 40%. If you then write out exactly how Like, be specific, write out your 5 W's. Then you will see, if you do the how, then it will be 50%. If you commit to someone else that you're going to do it, it's 65%. And if you ask for an accountability partner, who doesn't want to see 95% of their goals a reality? Guys, this is so powerful. So you need to buddy up, okay? Of course, Sonia and I would love to be accountability partners for all 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 of you. That is really actually not realistic. We do a terrible job. So we want to set you up for success. And the best way you can find success is yoking yourself with someone on your team who you're like, let's do this together. Of course, book accountability calls, but coaching calls with us as your leaders as you go along, or whoever your jacket leader is, that's who you do coaching calls with. But the best person for you to partner with is the person that you're building. Because when you build people, you will build a business. So focus on what your vision is for 2021. Break it down into SMART goals. And pick up an accountability partner, because then at the end of 2021, you will be able to look at that vision board and be like, I can stop and celebrate. You can always look at what someone else is doing. That will always be there. But what we know is comparison kills contentment, and you will never be satisfied with what you did accomplish. So if you find yourself never content with what you have achieved, I have a question for you. Have you written down what you did accomplish this last year? Because that itself is worth celebrating. And we need to be so thankful with how crazy blessed Norwex has been in 2020. Okay, Sonia, I'm going to pass it off to you.
Oh my goodness, so good, you guys. Dolores, can you do a quick recap? I see a lot of people saying, tell us SMART really quick. Specific, measurable, attainable.
Yeah, absolutely. So SMART stands for, well, I can put it up. I scribbled it down here because specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-driven. So specific is with your 5 W's. Measurable is that you know when it's going to happen. Achievable, that you're being realistic. And it's okay to set a goal, like set a monthly goal. How much income do I want to earn a month? I'm going to sign up 3 people a month and I'm going to earn $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. Like break it down into all the aspects of the business, right? How you're going to connect with your team, how you're going to connect with your own personal customers, and what you're going to do in your own personal life. Because if you don't take care of yourself, frankly, we're useless for the rest of the world. So you need to, in your goals, your family needs to be the first priority. For me, my faith is my first priority. And then, right, we need to give our best to those that matter most. They can't get what's left over. That's not fair, right? Okay, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. I think we all agree that we're doing this because this business is relevant. It's a business with a mission. Not many people can say that. I often talk about one of my daughters, my oldest daughter, when she was graduating from high school. Everybody asks, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? She's like, I'm really not sure. Like, I really would love a job that doesn't feel like work. And people were like, no, jobs are work. That they're kind of like interchangeable words. Chelsea's like, no, my mom, she does not make it look like she's working. Like, she just is always having fun with people. She loves people and she loves what she does. So therefore, then it doesn't feel like work. And I'm like, very true. I work hard. I put in long hours. This is my full-time career, but I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work. So to me, it's very relevant because it has a mission and a purpose. And then the T is time-driven.
Amen. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to just pick up on what Dolores has already opened us so beautifully with. Thank you, Dolores. So the thing that I want to capitalize on is what Dolores said is, what is your vision for the year? What is your dream for the year? Because I feel like goals are a lot easier if you know the end result. Where are you going to be by the end of the year? What is that going to look like? And so anyone who knows me knows this about me. I love to do, wouldn't it be so fun if, wouldn't it be amazing if? And so if you're not sure how do I figure out what I want, you just write that at the top of your paper. Wouldn't it be so fun if, or wouldn't it be just amazing if? And you begin to dream, wouldn't it be amazing if I could go to Costco, pay that place that off in full? Wouldn't it be incredible if I could take my parents on a trip to the homeland of fill in the blank? Wouldn't it be amazing if in 2021 we could, and then you just fill in the blank, because the R in SMART is relevant. Someone else could give you their goals and they could be the best goals in the world. But if they're meaningless to you and they're not attached to that stronger why, they're going to be a little useless. So that's where I find the relevance in SMART goals comes from. What is that heart, that why, basically. So I just encourage you guys, if you haven't done that yet, for 2021. I've talked about it on earlier Focus and Grow trainings, but I think it's just a great way to cast your next vision, because that is the key before we jump in. I see goals as a little bit more the how-to, the breaking it down into the how, but that is easier if you know where you're going to be by the end. And so if you're going to be a jacket leader by the close of 2021, by all means, and I want to back up what Dolores said about vision boards. If you've never done one in your life, I cannot even tell you. Willie and I did our first one. Somebody somewhere in our life said, hey, you should do this. And Willie's an electrical engineer, for crying out loud. If I could get him to sit down and cut pictures out of catalogs, anything is possible. But the fact is, we found that a couple moves later, and it was just incredible. We had talked about it for years. Remember how we put this on there? But somehow it got lost, and we found it, and it was like, check, check, check. So many things on there we had achieved. And so I think it just helps bring clarity and a safe place to dream. And I believe that God puts a dream within us, and we have to let it out. Otherwise, we're playing too small. So as we think about writing your goals, I want to have you write them as if they already are. Okay, our brain, when we talk in future tense, our brain tends to, the way we're wired is, oh yeah, someday we're going to do that. Yep, we'll get there. Oh yeah, honey, we're going there someday. But it's not urgent, and so our brain thinks in the now. And so we want our goals to be written in the now. And so instead of saying, I will be sales leader by the end of 2021, by the way, let's not play that small. I will be jacket leader by the end of 2021. But don't say I will be. I am jacket leader by November 25th, 2021, right? Whatever it is, you want it specific and you want it now, because that's what speaks to your brain to start putting all the little pieces into place. Now, if any of you have been scared of writing goals, that's why I'm working it backwards, okay? So the first thing is wouldn't it be so fun if? That's how I like to build the goal foundation, because it's less scary and it's a lot of fun. If you will let yourself play this game, I promise you, it will be so fun. And so you're going to first know that end vision, and then you're going to kind of reverse engineer it back to say, okay, what's going to bring me to that end vision? And that reverse engineering is going to help us make sure that achievable is right. Like you build the dream, and like Dolores said, maybe you're like, I want to be Silver Senior Vice President Sales Leader by the end of 2021. And then you start building your goals out, and you say, okay, well, I'm not going to breathe for 365 days straight if I'm even going to think about that. That's not going to fit life. That's not going to put my priorities first. And so dream the dream. The other thing I'll tell you about goals is write them without having to worry about how, within reason, because they are a how. They're a how plan. They're a plan, basically. But know that as you cast the vision and you state the steps, that what you need along the way will be given to you. So anyway, that's just kind of how I go into goals. Now, Often at the beginning, end of a year, as I'm praying about the upcoming year, very often God will just lay something strong on my heart. And last year it was massive growth, and we were not in a place of massive growth. And so it seemed very funny, but it was so overwhelmingly strong. And it was just, I told the team, I go, okay, this is what I'm seeing for 2020. And boy, did I have any clue? No clue. This was like December 2019. So anyway, just grateful for the growth we've seen in 2020. But I know that some of you have also faced some tough times in 2020, as has our nation and our world and all of that. And so not to discount that. But you are in the right place at the right time with Norwex. Our products are so relevant. They are so timely. They save people so much money. And in a time when there was no wipes on the shelves, no disinfectant wipes, no paper towels, I didn't panic because I knew I would continue cleaning the way I've cleaned for 11 years with just water and my Norwex cloths. And that is the gift that you have to share with people on a product level. And then, of course, let's talk about the people right now who are struggling a little bit financially. Maybe they've lost a job or whatever, and you have a gift to offer them. They can get these products for free into their home. They just need to host, because not everyone's in that boat. Some people are doing better than they ever have in the midst of this because of the industry they're in or whatever. And so the ability to host and share with their friends. I'm so sorry, my dog, I don't know what her problem is, but anyway. Oh, UPS man, I probably could have predicted that. Every time he comes, same guy, she has to bark. I don't know. Anyway, so it is. But anyway, so not sure where I was at. I'm sorry. I'll get there. Okay. But as we move into 2021, God has laid it on my heart, this word depth. I feel like this is a year we are going deeper. I don't know what it all means, but I trust by the end of 2021, I will. And so I don't know if any of you want to join me in that, but I love the deeper things. I love to go deeper. And I feel we're going to go deeper into our business. We're going to go deeper into relationships. We're going to go deeper into all the lives we touch, because that's one of the blessings of being a Norwex consultant, is it will bring more people. When you are doing parties, it will bring more people into your life than you ever even imagined was possible. And so deeper in that. For me, I am always praying to go deeper spiritually. Like, Lord, take me. I want to know you more. And so anyone who knows me knows my favorite book is the Bible. So I want to say, before we get into writing goals, which I'm going to get there, trust me. But I was praying with my sons this morning, God just laid the verse on my heart. I love this verse so much, but it was Ephesians 20. Now to him who is able to do far more abundantly than all we ask or think, according to the power that's at work within us, to him be the glory in the church and in Jesus Christ, in Christ Jesus, throughout all generations, forever and ever. And I love what Dolores shared about. We are also casting a future for our future generations in so many ways. So anyway, I just love this. But as you write goals, I want you to take the fear out, not worry about how they're going to happen, but trust. Because I feel like, I'm so sorry, I'm getting a lot of boxes, by the way. He is still here loading boxes. So it's Christmas at Sonia's house. But anyway, eventually he will go away and she'll stop. I'm so sorry. But so as you write goals, I want you to write them in faith and trust. Again, okay? So don't let fear keep you from doing something so powerful as casting the vision for you, for your family, and making the plan, and going into 2021 with a sense, I'm going to go deeper into this than I ever have before, in incredible ways, in incredible growth. Okay? All right. There we go. So that's anyone who's with me, throw in the comments if you are with me that, yes, I do. I want to go deeper into knowing how to do business. I want to go deeper into sharing with others, all the things. So, all right. Now let's talk about your actual goals for 2021. So this is going to be different for everyone, but you know what? Written goals, as Dolores shared, are way more powerful than keeping them in your head. I mean, they actually do studies on this stuff. So today's the day you're going to write down some goals. And if you've never done it before, you're just going to do it anyway. You're going to do it to make Dolores and Sonia happy. just like you're going to do that vision board. And so let's start casting that vision. And I'm going to just say, I believe that income is a very measurable thing. So I do love to measure things in income. So as you make your dream, and we're going to reverse engineer just for a second. Let's say you dreamed at the end that you wanted to take your kids to Disney. Now at the front end, if that's your dream, that, hey, we're going to do Christmas in Disney for 2021 or whatever, the first thing you need to know is, what does that goal cost? I feel like that's so important. If you need a new car, go test drive it. Make sure you like the car you think you like. I remember once I was convinced from ads and whatever that I wanted a certain car, went and drove it and was like, I don't even like this thing. So go test drive it. Make sure, yes, this is my thing. And then find out, do the math. How much do you need? I saw a couple of you threw in that, hey, I'm going to be debt free. Okay, that's really great and all. But what I need you to do is not tell me exactly, but tell yourself, I want you to know to the penny, how much needs to be paid in full. I love paid in full, you guys. When I do dream boards, I stamp paid in full on everything. It's my favorite. I just love paid in full. But anyway, so instead of thinking I'm going to be debt free, because that is a little debt focused, instead you're going to be thinking, okay, how much do I need to pay off? All right, so by this time, I will have earned this much to pay in full. Student loans, credit cards, car loans, whatever it is. Find out where you're going specifically. I feel like this makes a big difference. And I think sometimes we fear the numbers. Don't fear the numbers. They're going to help you so much as you set these goals. So I want you to find out how much for your dream for 2021. What's the amount of money? Very often there's some money required. Okay. Not always, but often. And so that's good. And then I want you, so we're going to do that. And sorry, I'm going on the fly. So I didn't write myself notes, but the dog stopped barking. Yay. All right. That's good. All right. So we've got how much you need.
Hey, Sonia, I'll jump in with you for a sec.
So what's that?
Yeah, I'll just jump in with you for a sec. So I have a formula that I do with people, and I'm sure many of you. So what I want to see is, I want to see a number. Like, sure, you can attend all the training in the world, but if you don't do anything, you might as well have stayed in bed and drank chai lattes. So in the chat, tell us what kind of income you would like to generate a month. Let me see some numbers. And remember what R stands for, right? A, that we need to be achievable and realistic. So give me a number. Everybody throw something in the chat. I do this when I meet people for coffee, or can't meet them for coffee right now, but when I talk with them on the phone, and it's like, okay, what amount of money would make a difference for your family? You know what hugely impacted me in 2008? I was down in Dallas, Texas, and I was doing Norwex parties down there. There were no consultants down there. And I was driving through the subdivision, and like every house was for sale. In 2008, it was so sad. It was so sad. And the gentleman that I was staying with said to me that on average, each family was losing their home to foreclosure over a gap of $800 a month. But month over month over month, before you know it, you're behind by $5,000, $10,000. And if you're without a job, I was like, $800 a month? What on earth? Like, that is literally just a couple Norwex parties. Like, right? Like, you just want to shake the state. Like, it was like, okay, how can I help these people see what is literally right at your fingertips? So just so you know my story, I did not start selling because for any other reason than we needed the income. 100%. And I immediately started team building. I had been in another company, and I trained my team to team build. Anybody who came to our team meetings, if they didn't come to the team meetings, they didn't hear it. But if they were at our team meetings, or if they read the newsletters, back then Norwex didn't provide us with email addresses for our downline. So we only got email addresses from people who attended our team meetings. That's where we would gather them. But anyway, side note, I always ask people this question: what amount of money a month would change your family's life. Give me a number. I ask this at my parties. What would you do with an extra $500 a month? How would that impact your family? Okay, so Shauna O'Neill, 8,000. Love you. We will get there, my friend. I'm going to stick with, you know what? I'm going to go with the average of what I see here. I see 2,200. I see 3,000, 4,000. I'm going to just go, why don't I go with 2,500? Okay, 2,500. So get out your calculators. Type in your number. I'm going to type in 2,500 and divide that by 0.35. That's how much product you need to sell to earn that much income. So now you're looking at just over $7,000 of product that you need to sell. That's doable. How much do you sell on average per presentation or per workshop? So divide that by whatever, say 750, whatever your average is. So on average, to earn that $2,500 a month, you're going to need to do about 10 workshops or presentations a month. So divide that by, even if you were, like if there's about 4 weeks in a month, so you'd need to do 2 to 3 presentations a week to put 2,500 in the bank. Guys, it all boils down to building relationships with your customers. That is the bottom. That is where it starts.
I love it. And that's where I was going. Thank you, Dolores, for getting me back on track in my brain. So income, right? What do you need per month? And so that was beautiful. And that's going to play right into writing your goals for 2021. So the first thing that I like to write is, let's say my party sales average is, and I like to do ranges because it leaves a little wiggle room for me. So maybe you want to say, like, my party sales average is 750 to 1,000. I mean, some of y'all doing these crazy online parties, you might be going, my party sale average is 1,500 to 2,000. Like, I'm watching you guys. You are nuts. It's in a good way. But anyway, so my party sales average is 750 to 1,000. Let's just kind of, but you do you. Like, if you're already at 750 to 2,000, you don't set that as a goal, right? Then you stretch. So stretch is also a key part of goals. What you're already doing is your comfort zone. So again, going back to growth doesn't typically happen in our comfort zone. It happens when we expand our comfort zone. We stretch a little bit. Okay. So next of all, going back to Dolores's formula, perfect. I hold blank parties per week, or you can say per month, because it depends. Everyone's doing their parties. Some are doing individual Zoom parties, individual Facebook parties, home parties. Some are doing multi-host. So there's a lot of things going on. But how many hosts per month do you have? So I have blank parties per month. Back in home party days, I set it weekly because I liked it to be, but again, this is kind of a weird space we're in. And so you may adjust it to monthly. I hold blank parties per month. Workshops, events, whatever you want to call them. Okay. So next, I get blank bookings per party. I get 1 to 2 bookings per party. I get 2 to 3 bookings per party. Okay. So you're going to and I always use the word at least. Always throw at least in front of there, because you don't want to be limiting yourself by thinking too small. So I get at least 1 to 2 bookings per party. Okay. I bring on at least blank new team members per month. I bring on at least 1 to 2 new team members every month, per month. Okay. We already touched on this. I am sales leader by March 15th, 2021. I am executive sales leader. I am, and so you can do the short-term goals that are a little shorter window of time, that are stepping stones up to, if you want to be Red Jacket leader by the close of 2021, which you absolutely can do it in a year. I mean, we've got people doing it in 6 months. So that is a possible, realistic possibility. So then you could set, I'll be sales leader in March. I'll be executive in June. I'll hit jacket in December. So you can actually like even goal set those things. And then money. I earn at least blank per month. This is important. Now, the beautiful thing about Norwex is there's 2 ways to earn. You can earn from your product sales, your parties, that's your now income. That's your 35%. But just like Dolores said, don't hold this to yourself. It's a little selfish, right? Because who knows who needs this? But secondly, it is such a blessing to you. When you start building a team, there will be that day where 5% exceeds your 35%. 5% is more than 35%. Suzanne Holt always shares that with us. And so just a reminder about that. So I earn blank per month, at least blank per month. I earn at least 2,000 per month. I remember 2000 was a pivotal point for me. I had in my head, even though I earned more than that as a physical therapist, but I had in my head that with a home business, if I could make 2,000 a month, that it was like a serious business. Like there was this like connection in my head, like, you know, if I can make 2,000 a month, then this is for real. And I think God just was giggling when my team check came in at 2,000 even. And it was just like that moment of, okay, Sonia, this is for real. You're supposed to be right here. But so 2,000, I think, is a pivotal place of money. But what is it for you? And set the goal, and then you can also work back from that income goal just through that formula of how many parties, so that all your goals make sense together. Like for you to say, I want to make 5,000 a month, but I only want to do one party per month. Those goals don't make sense together. So and I'll just tell you, as far as party goals, this business is all about relationship, but what I love about the party format is that it's constantly putting you in front of people. And that is what builds relationships. That's what gives you people to build relationships with. So again, bookings are always your foundation on which everything else seems to grow. So that is your 2021 goal writing. Write those things down. Anything I missed, Dolores, on those? I'm sure there might be.
No, awesome. So right, just do what Sonia said. And honestly, like, just write it down and write it down as it's yours, because it's a gift. Really, everything that we can do, everything that we receive is a gift, and just claim it, right? Yeah, just totally. This is something that Norwex, like when people talk about getting a red jacket, I'm like, they hand out red jackets. They give away red jackets. Like but you need to do what it takes to be the receiver of it. So just break down wherever you're at now and break down the goals that it will take to get you to where you want to be. And it's really a funnel, right? The more bookings you do, like Sonia said, the more people you will be in front of. That is, honestly, the buck stops there, because the more people you are in front of, the more customers you will find. And really, the whole point of doing our workshops, of doing our presentations, is to meet more people, to offer them the gift. The product is great. Everybody knows that. What our customers don't know is how fabulous this company is. So that is actually the gift that you can give them.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So before we close, we're going to move into the Executive in Jacket Zoom. And so we just want to take a little bit of time. First of all, what spoke to you today? Often by writing it out, again, just like writing your goals, it locks it in. It locks in the learning a little bit to share with others. So if you can just share in the comments, what was the little nugget? And maybe there were a couple. Always when we train, I think this has been a big thing for me, is learning just to take the nuggets that were for me that day, because otherwise it can be overwhelming. But anyway, so what was your nugget or two that really spoke to you? And do you have any questions? And we're going to watch the Zoom chat here and just kind of go through. And yay, Tasha, I'm so glad that this has made it simple. Like, it's not hard to write goals. And I promise you, once you start, I hope you never stop, because I hope you begin seeing the power of this, and it reinforces, wow, that was actually fun. Because when you look back, now put these in a place where you can look back and you can look at them, you can see them as you go. And again, that vision board is so good. Yay, I love the specificity, however you say that. Go ahead, Dolores.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, you know what, I have something on my desk, and it's actually from Shauna O'Neill. She gave this back to me in probably 2008. says, learn something new, then teach someone. So if you learned something new today, first of all, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your team. Find your people that you're wanting to build, connect with them and say, hey, let's do this together. Maybe if you're a team coordinator and you have 3 people on your team, or you're a sales leader, or maybe you're a sales consultant, wherever you're at in this business, reach out to the people that you have on your team currently and say, let's all make vision boards, let's post them, and let's celebrate each other along the way. Because we, Sonia and I, want to see you guys have 95% success. So if you take nothing else away from today, it is my desire that you find an accountability partner, someone that you're like, okay, these are my goals. This is what I'm going to do. Will you hold me accountable? It's one of the most humbling things we can do, but it's one of the most profound things that put us into a place that make us teachable, but also allow others to hold us accountable.
I love that. Find a buddy on your team. And I love what Dolores said, your growing team, even if you just today add your first team member ever, that can be your buddy. I have buddied so closely with team members over the years, and we learn together, we grow together, and our friendships, I mean, the depth of relationship when you get vulnerable and you share heartfelt goals with each other, and make sure it's two-way. So a buddyship is a two-way thing. Give each other both time to say, what are your goals? Okay, tell me more. All right, flip the chair and say, okay, what are your goals? Okay, what's your plan to break that down? And then write each other's goals down so that when you do your calls, you can stay very focused. Oh my goodness, I know you said you were working toward this. How's that coming? And I'll tell you, sometimes a buddy is there to lift you up. Like, oh my goodness, it's coming great, except all my parties canceled. Like, what am I going to do with this? No, it happens to all of us. You're going to pull yourself back up. You're going to start reaching out. You're going to ask and offer and go refill that calendar, because your why and your goals are bigger than someone else's no that day. Mm-hmm. So that's what a buddy is about. When you go into a buddyship, promise to not let each other play small. I always want to say that when you find a buddy, it's not a venting partner. Okay, it's not. Like, that's the worst thing you could probably do for your business, is find someone who you just call and vent. Like, oh, I hate this, and I think it's all falling apart. Like, that's not going to help anyone out. So when you go in saying, all right, we commit, we pinky swear to each other. I don't even know what that means, but anyway, we promise to each other that we're not going to let each other play small. We are going to play full out. And if we're having a challenge, we're not going to be afraid to bring the challenge, but then we're going to look for the solution. We're not going to get mired in the challenge. We're going to find ourselves in the solution at the other side. And together you can do that so much quicker. So yes, beautiful. I think that's such a beautiful challenge to all of you. If you haven't found your buddy yet, make that a priority. And if you haven't built your team yet, find a sister on the team, right? Or a brother, right? Like someone you've just kind of naturally found yourself. Maybe you're pacing similar in your business, or you just kind of have found yourself like you just naturally have connected. I think that's a huge thing.
All right, Sonia, that was brilliant. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we are so excited for you. And if you want to be super vulnerable, feel free to post a picture of your goals in your team group and kick off this. Let's encourage and support each other and stay the course. I want to just say, even if a bump happens and a month didn't go quite as expected, if there's one thing I've learned is you can have a bit of a bumpy month and it might fall a little lower, but then you can have 2 months later, a mind-blowing, like crazy, above and beyond anything you could have expected sort of month. So do not give up. If you, one of my favorite goals to set for is earning every Norwex trip. Don't ever let Norwex offer a trip that you don't get. These are free. They're amazing. And so even like right now, let's say you just joined this morning and you're looking at Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, Hard Rock Resort. I'm here to tell you, it's one of our favorite trips that we've ever taken, most of us. And so you need to go back there. You've still got plenty of time to earn that trip. So don't talk yourself out of your goals and get discouraged. Again, that's where I think a buddyship can help. Like, no, we've got this. We might plan an awesome end of the year customer celebration, and we might make up some sales there or whatever. So, okay.
Hey,
Thank you,
so
Dolores.
I'm just gonna do a nutshell on all of this for us for a quick second. So, Sonia, I could listen to you all day. I just love how you just speak from your heart, and it literally just makes you so relatable with everyone who listens. And that is just such a gift that you have. So, my challenge for those of you, I always like takeaways. You obviously can look through your notes from today's call and choose what your gold nuggets are. But at the end of the day, I would love to say, especially if you're on my team, 3 takeaways. I would like you to write down your goals for 2021. Even if you've never done it before, write down your goals for 2021, make a vision board, and find an accountability partner. And message me when you're done, right? Because those are the 3 things that if you were to ask us what has helped us get to where we are, those are the 3 stepping stones. Hey, Sonia?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Done, and
Okay.
working on it. I love it. All right. Well, you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Dolores, thank you. It's always such a privilege to get to partner with you. And wrap up 2020 strong and join us in going deeper in your business, going deeper in the deeper things of life than you ever have before as we move into 2021. And I just encourage you, you all have been given a giant gift in being the gift bearer of Norwex, and you get to be such a light and a shining love spreader in this world. And so as you go out and you just love on your customers, you love on your hosts, you love on your team members, I believe that by the end of the year, you won't even believe it will be abundantly beyond what you could have even asked for or thought. So thanks everyone. Have a good one.